How to measure and improve your cardio fitness. If we're talking about cardio fitness, you need to understand these two terms, VO2 max and zone 2. Now I know what you're thinking. Whoa. Slow down there, pal. VO what? And zone, huh? Zone 2 and VO2 max. We'll start with VO2 max. We'll start by listening to what Dr. Peter Attia has to say about VO2 max, and then we'll break it down so that it is much easier to understand.
VO2 max is a remarkable integrator of the work you have done to get fit. And that's why strength is a very close second. So if we're going to tally all the possible biomarkers that would predict how long you're going to live, we could look at your ApoB, we could look at whether you have diabetes or not, we could look at your testosterone level, your cholesterol level. I mean, we could look at every imaginable thing, how much muscle mass you have, what your BMI is, all of these things. And if we rank ordered them in terms of their ability to predict how long you're going to live, or stated another way, how well do they predict your ability, the probability you're going to die this year? The very, very top of that list is VO2 max, and directly under it is strength. Why? Because you can't fake those metrics and you can't cram for the test. You take a person with a low VO2 max and you send them to the gym for a month, they're not going to show up with a high VO2 max on the test. When someone shows up with a very high VO2 max, which by the way, anybody can have, yes, genes play a role, just as they play a role in strength and everything else. But there is nobody who can't get into the top 25% for their age and sex with a long enough training history. And the benefits of exercise are best tabulated and measured via the accrual of the intensity, duration, specificity of training, and measured in this single number.
So, VO2 max, volume of oxygen. The volume of oxygen your body is able to take in, process, and produce energy. As Peter Attia said, VO2 max is so important because it is the #1 indicator of your level of cardiovascular fitness. The most accurate way of measuring your VO2 max is through a laboratory test wearing a lactate meter. However, most modern fitness watches will give you a VO2 max reading. However, it's not as accurate as a lab test. Your VO2 max will range based on a variety of factors such as fitness levels, age, and sex. Just Google VO2 max chart to see where you should peg. Now, if yours is low, don't be scared, because I'm about to tell you exactly what you can do to improve your VO2 max. It's called Zone 2. To build your cardio fitness, 80% of your workouts need to be low intensity, steady state. If we're going to be precise, they need to be at Zone 2. Now, I know what you're probably asking. What the hell is Zone 2? Put simply, Zone 2 training is any form of cardio exercise that gets you moving, but at a rate that allows you to still hold a conversation. So if you're cycling, for example, you're moving at a steady pace that allows you to hold a conversation for the entire session's duration. Not as easily as you would at rest, but with a little bit of a struggle. That's your Zone 2. If you aren't able to hold a conversation, you're probably going a little bit too hard. Here's another clip of Dr. Peter Attia showing us exactly what Zone 2 cardio looks like.
I want to show you what Zone 2 looks like. As you can see, I can carry out a conversation. It's just not that comfortable. I'd much rather shut up and listen to a podcast or an audiobook. But if I have to talk, I can. And I've spent some Zone 2s on the phone the entire time. Not particularly enjoyable for the person on the other line, I'm sure. But that's really your litmus test. So don't get caught up in what your watts are and what heart rate is as a percentage of maximum heart rate. Don't worry about any of that stuff. Just reproduce this level of exertion.
For the most benefit, you want to be doing a minimum of 150 to 180 minutes of Zone 2 cardio per week for 45 to 60 minutes per session. That's Zone 2 training 80% of the time. The remaining 20% or one session per week should be spent at high intensities doing your VO2 max training. This has to be 3 to 8 minute all out intervals. I like doing 4-minute intervals. So what I'll do is I'll do 4 all out intervals on the bike, aiming to keep a consistent pace throughout. I'll then take 4 minutes to recover and repeat that 4 times. It will be ugly and you should have nothing left in the tank at the end because you're trying to push your heart rate as far as possible without dying. So there you have it. You know exactly how to measure and improve your cardio fitness using the same techniques that professional athletes use, guided by the world's best coaches and doctors such as Peter Attia. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, smash that like button, and I'll see you in the next video.